to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Hawks coming up next.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time, but admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
To get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills. The ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. From the 30 on second down, Wilson. Open man Hamler, that's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They'll run it with Williams. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Now on 4th down, is the punt team sending this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a run with Evans. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He hits his target, Lockett. And he is going to have a first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route with plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 2nd and 5. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. And they'll run for it with Evans. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense, because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with it or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
On 2nd down, a run with Evans. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. Looking to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. This is taken at about the 14. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver's offense now set to go. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Able to shake him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Alton Robinson, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 3. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Fights off the defender. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Hands it off out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It levels things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 2nd and 4. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both lost. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. Space to run past the 20. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Let's go.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, we take a look there at the numbers for them running the football in that first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
For the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And now here's a carry heading left. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It's John Simon with a sack.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
2nd and 6. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right? In baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes this forward for about 6. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
That's caught. Nick Westbrook-Akine with it.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Back to throw here. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Nick Westbrook-Akine
there to make the grab. And the Broncos have taken the lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos.
Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 51 yards on the punt there.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent. Just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field league. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Hands it off out of the gun.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And to give this time to the tailback. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. 2nd and 8. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
The defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.